Welcome back. We're looking at reading and viewing, and in this segment we're going to be focusing on generalization. If you generalize, you say that something is true in most situations or for most people, especially when you have very little evidence. Evidence is proof. You can't really show that it's true. You have very little evidence for it. The noun is generalization, an idea or conclusion that is applied to most situations or to most people. Right, let's see if we can't make this clear by looking at some examples. Girls can't do maths and science. Or boys are rough and tough. Or every American wishes that you have a good day. Or the Swiss are very neat and tidy. Or South African teenagers are lazy and spoilt. Let's have a look at those. What did you think of them? Were they fair? Did you agree with them? Do you think, yeah, that's true? What about girls can't do maths and science? That's really unfair. That's a generalization. I'm sure there are some girls who can't do maths and science, but you cannot say girls can't do maths. Girls are useless at science. You are talking about everybody, and that's a generalization. You're saying what I'm saying is true for everyone. Boys are rough and tough. That's also unfair. What about a boy who's sensitive and who's thoughtful and who's kind? And he feels, oh, well, I better not show that side of myself because I've got to be rough and tough. Every American wishes that you have a good day. Well, on one hand, you might say, but that's true, and Americans are polite and they are good-natured and they are friendly. But again, it's a generalization. Is it true that every American does that? The Swiss are very neat and tidy. I'm sure that they are. But is it true of all of them? What about South African teenagers are lazy and spoiled? Did you agree with that one? Are you all lazy? Are you all spoiled? Do you see the problems with generalizations is that you're taking something that might be true of some people, but you're saying that it's true of absolutely everyone. Remember, when you generalize, you're often also using emotive language. Let's look at that last one. South African teenagers are lazy and spoiled. Those are very emotive words. And we said emotive words create an emotion and they show an emotion. What am I showing? I'm showing I dislike South African teenagers. I despise them because they're useless. They don't contribute. And how does that make you feel? Don't you possibly feel annoyed or angry or irritated or frustrated? The words are emotive. So look for emotive language in generalizations. What about this one? That teacher is so strict, I'm going to hate her class. Now, that's actually terribly unfair because that teacher might be strict, but you're saying because of the strictness, the classes are going to be awful. That's not necessarily true. A strict teacher can have order within the classroom, and that will allow people to learn. So be careful about that kind of generalization as well. The teacher's strict, and so you're making a generalized comment about how you think everything is going to go in her class. So what are the dangers of generalizing? First of all, you're judging a person by common aspects. So you're judging Americans or Swiss or girls or boys by something that is in common, but you're not taking account of the individual. We are all individuals. Yes, we share qualities in common, but that does not mean that we are all the same. So that's the first danger of generalizations. Then the second one is related to this teacher so strict. you are judging somebody without actually getting to know them. You're saying, that's a very strict teacher, and now I'm judging. I'm making a judgment. I'm going to hate all her lessons. And that's unfair as well, because you're not getting to know that person. A few years ago, a grade 10 came into my class, and I said, we're doing 12th night. And he said, yes, I know. My father said he hated 12th night. Now, that's not fair. First of all, that's not fair on me. Give me a chance. Let me show you that Shakespeare can be fun. It's not fair on Shakespeare, because your father hated Shakespeare doesn't make Shakespeare bad or boring or useless. And it's actually also unfair on the child, because he isn't giving himself a chance to get to know the play and possibly to enjoy it. So generalizations are unfair on a number of different people. They're unfair on you. They're unfair on the person that you're judging. Notice that the generalizations vary from something that's quite positive, the Swiss are neat, to something very negative, South African teenagers are lazy, to something that is showing you how much you're going to hate something. Generalizations are not good, even if they are positive. They're obviously not good if they're negative. And we're going to move from generalization to something very closely related to it in the next segment.